Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from Pea's World. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. Let's chow.
I am 100% on board with the 4B movement for the women on the left. Cut that hair. Tie them tubes. Stop reproducing. The last thing we need is more of your little green-haired gremlins running around shitting in litter boxes. And if you stop reproducing, it's only going to be the children of Republicans that are going to be popping out. So
true. This is the whole narrative, in my opinion, that feminists are like kind of missing out on. They don't want kids. They want a career. They want all these things. The only way to kind of propagate your ideas for a very long time is to have children and instill those ideas into those children so they can go on with those ideas. If you just kill yourselves off, it kind of ends there.
cut that hair. Tie those tubes. Go for it.
Margot Robbie just had a baby boy. The internet is losing it. Not in a good way. So as it says here, Margot Robbie has welcomed her first child, a boy. This girl goes, girls, we lost. Lost what? What did we lose? They go on to say, I can't believe she became a boy mom. Tragedy. Are you well? Are you well? I'm not even gonna get into this comment right here. She says, it's simply not fair that a male gets to grow and say his mother is Barbie. I would say she could try again for a girl, but I would never want to subject a little girl to having an older brother. Like,
I don't think little girls care. They just want a good mom. I would hope that the good mom is better than everything else. What?
What is wrong with people? Not everyone should have an opinion online. That's it. There, I said it.
We spoke about this the other day. Twitter and TikTok are where the saddest, most antisocial, most degenerate people congregate.
True.
Okay? And women are included in that. These women on these online platforms have no concept of reality. They are so engulfed in hatred. The idea that Margot Robbie has had a son is an L for them because now she has to love a boy who will turn into a man. Wow. And they obviously hate men. It's really sad when you think about it.
So, I just broke up with my therapist. And I guess I'll tell you why. Basically, I went in there today. It was more like an emergency session, only because I really have been having trouble. Like, after this election, I really have been having trouble. And so anyway, she had emailed me the other day, and I told her, like, I wasn't doing well, so she made some time for me. She made an appointment for me, which I appreciate, and I told her that before I left. But, I went in today, and I asked her, I said, I have a question for you, like, I just need you to be honest. And I said, did you vote for Trump? And she made a face, and then she told me basically yes.
Everybody's allowed to vote for whoever they want into their own self-interest. It is what voting is for. People are allowed to vote if they like abortion or not. Hell, that's on you. They're allowed to vote against it. Hell, it's on them. People vote for what they care about, as in their own selfish needs, which is a good thing. When everybody is voting more for themselves, they understand what is going to be good for them. And why are we upset at people voting what they think is going to be good for them? They might not know. We don't know. Do I really know the economy is going to automatically get better? No, but there's hope, and that was my part of my interest. That's why I voted that way. Like, why are we so upset at each other for voting for your own interest? Everybody's doing it. It's okay. Just be happy people are voting.
She did. And I asked her, I was like, can you explain that to me? Like, can you explain that decision to me? And she was like, I mean, for one, his policies. And I was like, what policies? And she was like, well, one thing, I don't like my groceries being so damn expensive, so freaking expensive, something like that. And I'm not gonna lie, that statement, that sentiment gave me great pause. and I didn't really have much to say for a couple seconds. And then I asked her, like, so did you think about me? Like, when you went in that booth?
No, exactly. Why would she have to think about you? People are voting in their own self-interest. She wants lower freaking grocery bills. That's the most important thing in her life right now is groceries. Who cares about most other things? This is why sometimes Americans are so in their own bubble, but pretend to be like, oh, they know everything and they're so aware of everything. I guess this is what be woke, right? Or what the left calls woke or whatever. But does the Middle East really matter to most of us that are here in the United States struggling to pay grocery bills? I don't really think it does. I don't even think most of us even think about Middle East or war over there. Why? Because our grocery bills are too expensive now. Again, people are voting for things that affect them personally in their everyday life, which makes sense. Why would I vote for something that I think is going to happen to someone else that I'm worried about? No, I'm worried about myself.
Like, did you think about me
and my family?
And she was like, what do you mean? I don't understand your question. I said, you know, your black female child of immigrants client, did you think about me when you went in the booth? She said, no, I don't think about you like that. Like, I come here and I listen to your problems. That's my job.
Yep. What's wrong with what she said?
And that said everything. That said everything for me. I'm not gonna lie. I considered staying for this session. I considered, you know, small talk or whatever, but I've overextended myself as a black woman for too long. Because the truth is that when I walked into that booth, I mean, metaphorically speaking, I filled out my absentee ballot. But when I filled out my absentee ballot and I voted for Kamala Harris, I voted for her rights. I voted for her rights to the medical abortion she just had to have for incomplete miscarriage. I voted for her rights to that.
No one is trying to not let people abort when there's a miscarriage or something horrible happens. Why are everybody so into this horribleness that happens? Most of the time it's women saying, oops. That's the issue that a lot of people have. It's the oops ones, not the holy cow, if we don't do something, she's going to die. We all understand that one. And we all understand the grape one too. None of us are upset at that at all, really. Tell you the truth. Even the Christians can somewhat understand it. They may not agree, but they understand. But to keep pushing out everything, people have their own ideals.
And you're telling me that cheaper groceries was enough for you to overlook the hate, was enough for you to overlook the violence. It was enough for you to overlook everything that is going to affect my day-to-day life, your client's day-to-day life. And I understand how that could benefit her in some way, and I'm trying not to think about it that way because
can't people just be worried about them and their families, them and theirs? That's what most people are worried about.
Then that makes her a worse person than I could ever think. But I spent the last 2 years of my life with this person. I'm a senior in college. I was a sophomore in college when I first started seeing her. She knows things about me that most people do not know. And to know that you view yourself as my white savior, to know that you view me as less than you.
When did she ever say that? Like, you're just putting words in her mouth and you're automatically like judging her in that way. She said she's worried about groceries and she's not so worried about you. Now she's like hates you in some way, shape, or form.
To know, I mean, whether you meant to or not, that's exactly what it is.
You should have stayed for the session. Okay?
Yeah.
And not only should you have stayed for the session, you should call her back after this video. This video, I believe, got about 74,000 likes. Crazy. Now, maybe it's because
74,000 likes? I don't even get 74,000 views. Holy cow.
Because of my history working with people with mental health issues, she's screaming to me that she has problems.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you ask your therapist, did you vote for Trump? Who does that? Who does that? You're not supposed to know about your therapist. That's number one. So her even telling you that is a bit weird.
Yeah.
But then to ask her, did you think of me? What the? Do you not know she has multiple clients? Main character syndrome. Okay,
All right.
you.
That's right, P. You are right. I didn't even
The idea
think
that
about
you
the main
think
character
that you would
thing.
be on her mind is absolutely mental. So we've seen so much head loss online over Trump winning this election, but this is probably the worst, okay? There are two women in particular who have gone viral for all the wrong reasons.
So does anybody know how to find or hire a hitman or woman? Because we don't want to be sexist. So, but I think we could pull
I remember this one, and again, I remember saying, what female hitmen are there? Please show me this female hitman.
this off collectively.
Ooh, girl, you f***ed up with that video. Do you realize that that is a felony? We all know who you were referring to. We all know that just because you went and deleted your video, many of us were able to save it or save it from somebody else who are.
That's why these channels are here. I have what, 2,000 something videos. All of your fuckery has been documented in my YouTube.
already made a video. Your face is now out there for everybody to see. That's actually a really good way to get the cops, the FBI, the SWAT, everybody showing up at your house first thing in the morning. Like, are we actually okay? Are y'all not thinking logically here?
Nope.
I just am a...
Somebody actually called the police, the FBI, on her.
It makes sense, right? To make these claims online, even if you're trying to be, facetious, are pretty big, bold claims.
I'm calling to report 2 accounts on TikTok. One who is using incitive language of terrorism, the assassination of Donald Trump. And then I am calling to report another account who was sequestering online for a male or female assassin to commit a 3rd assassination attempt against Donald J. Trump.
And it got so bad that she ended up on Fox News.
Same street and it's dark out and you're a white male. You have to be white for this to count, okay? If you're a white male, even if you don't approach me, I will shoot you.
Quick question. So does anybody know
Calm down, ladies. Jeez.
how to find or hire a hitman or woman?
Now look, this is generational head loss, okay? The idea that a woman is gonna say, if she sees a white man on the street, if she sees you, it's on sight. That's crazy. All because of an election. There are so many people out there who would rather live in fantasy world than live in
Again, I came from a country that there's really no elections. The prime minister has been prime minister for 35 plus years now. There's plenty of people that run against them. They either get exiled or they get executed. Those are the 2 options of when you run against our prime minister. That's why he's never lost. People can get upset about it. Do we? No, we value our lives. Most people value their lives, so they just kind of, fuck, what are we going to do? You can't really revolt against the man. The man has all the army. He has all the guns. You're screwed. Here, at least, everybody gets to vote for who they want to vote for. They just get upset at each other for it. Cambodians are just dying.
their real life. That's what I'm getting out of this, because I've seen some people in the comments saying, no, people take politics seriously. Yeah, like it makes sense why people are emotional. I understand that. But your life isn't over after this election. Like, tomorrow is probably going to be the same as yesterday.
Yep.
For 99% of people. People acting like the world is over. People acting like, oh my goodness gracious. Now, if I see you, it's on. Like, come on.
It's just like the fire that's happening in Southern California and like the LA Calabasas area. It doesn't literally affect my life at all. Yes, I get a little smog here and there. The fire's been raging for quite a few days. It has not affect my life in almost any way, shape, or form, other than there's fire news going on right now. I live in OC, far enough from it. It's only like 2 hours away from me. but I live so far from it that it really doesn't affect my life. That's pretty much the national election. Very few of it actually, or very little of it actually is going to affect your life, and it won't affect it right away, at least.
Sleep, get early night, wake up for work in the morning.
So my friend called me on the phone this morning. We usually talk on the phone in the mornings, and she's like, have you heard of this 4B movement? And I was like, no. And she goes, well, these liberal women are threatening to shave their heads and go abstinent. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to go watch some videos. But you mean they're not going to give birth to any more crazy liberals for the next 4 years? And we've gone so left that now we're right, that they're actually going to practice abstinence, which is really good if you don't want to have to go have an abortion. That's really the way to do it. Because here's my thing. If you don't, having a baby the decision to have a baby should be made before you get in the bedroom. And you shouldn't be having sex with someone that you don't want to have a baby with. And quite frankly, y'all, I hate to say it, this may get me some heat, but y'all aren't exactly the women that men are hound dogging after. Y'all aren't the type of women, and your attitude.
I've never in my life, all the years I've known men, have I heard a man go, you know what I really want? Like, I just need a feminist. I just need it. Strong, independent, combative. Yeah, that's what I want.
They got me rolling because in my head I was just like thinking, like, have I ever heard anybody ever say that? I was like, oh, feminism. I can't wait to get me one.
And your attitudes and the way you look and act, men are not coming after y'all's coochie. They're just not. So do them a favor and please do go abstinent. That's how many less Democrats that are going to be born?
Might be less, smelly fish holes out there.
And you're actually not going to be out harming babies.
Oh, that would be wonderful too.
Y'all want to talk about how 50% of women voted for Trump and how our lives are centralized. This one girl, she said, your lives are centralized around men from the moment that you're born. And you want them to think you look good and you want them to take care of you. You know, it is nice as a heterosexual woman to have someone that thinks you look good, that will open your door, that will pay for your dinner. But that doesn't mean you can't be independent. Hell, I'm a Marine. And I own a firearms business. I do things that average women don't do every day, but I still like having like a real man in my life. So do us all a favor because, most men aren't going to want to have sex with someone that's going to go and take out their child if they don't, if they have an accident. So you're really doing everyone a favor. This isn't going the way that you think it is. It's simply not.
It really what this woman just described at the end there was balance. I'm a Marine. I have my own firearm business, but I also have a man. What? You can be successful as a woman and have a relationship? What? That's a concept that the feminists just haven't grasped yet.
Well, that's a good concept, and I don't get why they don't grasp it because they want that. They want to be the best mom, the best CEO, the best wife, and all these things. In a sense, you can be probably good in 3 of those things. You're never going to be good in all 4. Or you can just be mediocre in all of them. But you can do them. But you're just not going to be the best in all 4 categories.
But look, this 4B movement is failing for a number of reasons. Already, these women don't realize or haven't realized yet. They keep doing this thing, men versus women. Men versus women. Oh, the men. You guys don't understand. You are the minority of women. This isn't a man versus women thing. 52% of women are against you. So you saying 4B, right? As a minority. And by the way, not all liberal women are doing 4B. So you're a minority within a minority acting like it's going to affect someone. It isn't.
True.
As somebody who has been an sex worker / dancer for the past 7 years and has just now been able to leave that industry to be doing the social media and just talking in front of a camera, being myself and having the support of the girls, the gays, and the theys, and being on 2 completely opposite ends of the spectrum as far as what I'm doing for work, I have seen how men behave, truly at their core, raw and unfiltered, and it is fucking jarring. And before any of you are not my husband, not my boyfriend, girl, you might want to think twice about that. The point being...
Again, this is what I always point out with these sex workers and stuff. You are doing a job where the most lowly and degenerate men are constantly seeking you, talking to you, that you're around constantly. They are not the representation of men out there. They are the the lonely, the desperate, like the I don't want to say bottom of the barrel, but like the more degenerate, lonely men. They're gonna do degenerate, lonely things, and some of them are bad characters. I would 100% agree, and there's a lot of them are probably bad characters because they all fit that demographic that you're kind of selling yourself to. Most men are not out there trying to do horrible, degenerate things constantly. It's just not in us. It is in us. I lied about that, but we also have control.
Being the way that they talk about women, because they'll come into the club and they'll tell you their whole fucking life story. Some of these guys, I'm like their therapist, right? They're venting to me about their lives and, whatever. And these women in their lives that they are supposed to love, protect, and care for, the way that they speak about them, their wives, their girlfriends, their sisters, their daughters, their mothers, it is so sick and fucking twisted. It really is. Like
What's more sick and twisted? A man coming into a strip club, speaking about women disgustingly, and just being a disgusting person? Or a man coming into a strip club, being a disgusting person, and then giving you money to pleasure him, and you still do it? Even though you know he's a disgusting person, he's a piece of trash, he gives you money, and you still pleasure him.
Yep.
Who's more disgusting? The person that's pleasuring a disgusting man, or a disgusting man? That's a genuine question.
Things that
I go with the person pleasuring the disgusting man that knows everything about the disgusting man is somewhat way more disgusting.
I have heard, and just the way that they have spoken about, these women in their lives as if they're just like these objects, and it's just like, who gives a fuck? Meanwhile, you could tell that woman in their life thinks the world of this man. Like, it is just so jarring. So
and how do you even know if that woman even thinks the world of this man? You're just judging by what he's saying, and you're making assumptions of what the other side would be thinking or saying about this person.
If any of you or anyone is still fucking on a man that is, one, not as mad as you are about all of this, two, not really doing shit, or three, supporting all of this shit.
What do you want us to do? The election is over. You want us to go protest in the streets about our own votes? Like, boo! Take back my votes.
Wake up, babe. We're done. It's done. Pack it the fuck up. The coochie is closed. It's closed until fucking further notice. Like, we're done. I have a very small circle of men in my life that are vetted. A lot of them I have known the entirety of my fucking life. A very small circle of men that are like vetted in my life that I'm like, okay, you're good. You passed the test. Very small circle. Other than that, I'm fucking scared, okay? I'm scared because I know how y'all fucking behave. I know how y'all behave.
Again, you know how the most degenerate, the most depraved, and lonely men behave. Yes, I 100% agree with that. It's not a representation of all men. This is the whole bear versus man thing. This is how women view it. When they're in the industry and they see the group, all this men, and they're all the bad men, they just assume every man's a bad, and the bear is better. No, it isn't.
When you think nobody's fucking watching, and it is really fucking sick. I'm sorry if that pisses you off. Unfollow me. I don't care. I literally do not care.
When it comes to men, there's nobody's opinions who are valued less than sex workers. Your opinions are literally on the floor. There's nobody whose opinions I value less than yours, because you work in an industry where you come across the worst men daily, and those men come from all different places. So your view on men is just going to be warped just based on your occupation. You're speaking about men as if you know men, when you are literally encountering like the 1% of men that will even deal with you. That's a small percentage of men that you're encountering, but you're basing your whole view of men based on that. When in reality, you are worse than those men because you pleasure those sick men. I don't know how you don't see it.
I heard people were doing this and I was like, no, I hadn't seen it yet. For 2 days I've been hearing about the 4B movement, people shaving their heads, but I hadn't actually seen it yet. What the hell are you doing? Girls, nobody's coming after your rights. You still have just as many rights as you had the day you were born.
Pretty much.
And now you're bald.
Yeah.
I saw one girl with hair as long as mine. Shave it off. She only got like 500 views. And you're bald now. You did all of that. For 500 views. And you're bald now. This is like... So, the paparazzi and the industry drove Britney Spears to shave her head, okay? Now that I understand. That I understand. Because she was actually being drove crazy by her controllers, right?
True.
And then the paparazzi 24/7 up her ass. But you guys are doing this on shit that's not even real. It's not even real. And now you're bald.
Okay, you guys, I'm not trying to be mean, and please don't take this the wrong way. But if you do, I really don't care. All the women, I want to ask you men something.
Yes.
And please be honest with me.
Sure thing.
All the women that's doing the 4B movement, shaving their head and wearing these blue bracelets.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look like women that you would actually go for in the first place?
Hell no.
Like, look at them. Would them be the women that you would actually approach?
Mm-mm.
Like, keep it all the way 100. Like, they look like they were already celibate and it wasn't on purpose. Like, them women look untouchable.
Call them femcells.
And I don't mean that in a gangster way. I mean that as a 25 cats in their house and smell like piss. Like, do them women look like they are actually the women that y'all would literally go for? Like, y'all are literally doing this movement and you shaving your head for nothing. Because the men that I know wouldn't even look at you twice. Like, literally, they would jump over you to get to every other woman besides you. Like, tell me if I'm wrong, man.
No, I agree. It's usually the more overweight, the less attractive, the loudest, blue-haired, pink-haired ones that seem to be doing it with the most makeup.
Because I'm looking at these women like, do y'all even like me? Because half of y'all look like y'all playing for the other side. But hey, that's just on me. Like,
I can't lie to you. There are a lot of women who are screaming 4B right now. But the ones who are taking it to the extreme, the ones who are shaving their heads, from what I've seen, yeah, they weren't, any woman who values her beauty isn't going to shave her head over an election.
Yeah.
That's crazy because you take pride in how you look, right? So, yeah.
4B, foursomes. Women can do whatever the hell they want. Men are just going to do what we want. Midtown, passport bros, vote the way we want. Again, there's a Chow Time 2.0 down below. Please like and subscribe, or subscribe down to there. I'll have videos out in December, covering different topics and just different styles of video too, and less frequent. I'm still going to have my 5 videos here on this channel, but not so much on the other channel. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. I could use next time.